This week in Philippine history marks the day when Japan bombed military bases in the Philippines. December 7, 1941 is an infamous day in American history because it's the day when Japan bombed Pearl Harbor, making the United States join World War II. However, did you know that on that same day, Japan also attacked other places in the Pacific, like Guam, Hong Kong, Singapore, Thailand, and the Philippines? Due to the time zone difference, the attacks occurred on December 8th local time. The attacks in the Philippines destroyed military planes and resources, leaving many parts of the country vulnerable to more attacks. General Douglas MacArthur was an experienced American military leader who was serving in the Philippines at the time as the commanding general of the U.S. Army forces in the Far East. General MacArthur ordered his troops to fight against Japanese forces until U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt ordered him to be transferred to Australia. President Roosevelt made this decision as many regions of the Philippines were falling to Japan. He feared that General MacArthur would be captured, and by transferring him to Australia, he would still be safe enough to keep making military decisions for the country. Upon arriving to his new location, General MacArthur made a speech addressing his troops and the Filipino people, where he said his famous line, "I shall return." Unfortunately, when he left, thousands of American and Filipino soldiers were left behind at the mercy of Japanese forces. Many were killed or experienced abuse, and thousands were forced to endure the Bataan Death March, in which American and Filipino prisoners of war were forced to walk 70 miles from Bataan to Tarlac to get to a confinement camp. Many soldiers died during this journey due to physical abuse, malnourishment, or disease. Japan would go on to occupy the Philippines for the next 3 years, emphasizing their dominance over the Pacific. Then on October 20th, 1944, General MacArthur and his troops returned to the Philippines to the island of Leyte. And upon returning, he made a speech where he reportedly said his famous line, "People of the Philippines, I have returned." In fact, there's a memorial in Leyte that depicts this historical moment. The MacArthur Leyte Landing Memorial National Park has statues of MacArthur and his entourage in the water, walking towards the shore as they did on the day of his return. This memorial serves as a reminder of the hardships and victories that the Philippines endured during the Japanese occupation of the country. Over the next year, General MacArthur led his troops in the Philippines to fight against Japanese forces, slowly taking back regions of the country until the end of the war in 1945. And now you know. Paalam!